Okay,
Good
we're live.
morning. We're live. Okay. Good morning, comics people. It's a very special episode this Sunday morning and also evening because in the other part of the world, because we have a special guest today, is the AMERIKAiju and its creator, Mr. Edgar Pastel.
Yeah, hi guys. Good morning to everyone out
Woo!
there.
Yeah, before anything else, we let's try to share the stream so we can get more views.
We, mhm.
Do you want me
Oh
to
yeah,
share my stuff, or is that what you're saying?
Share. I shared the link on FB
yeah, the actual
on your.
stream. I mean,
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
yeah. So
You let me know.
Okay.
I'm ready.
You can share Mick, you can share it on the private chat so Edgar can see.
okay, okay. Okay, we're
Good.
live. It's
Okay, mute it, mute it.
well, it's on our
Okay,
page. I cannot copy it, but it's on our
Okay, I'll
page.
do it na lang.
okay. All right. While sharing, thank you so much for the early birds that watching our stream. It's different from our usual schedule, but thank you so much for tuning in. And it's because of time difference regarding this one. I think Edgar is our first non-Filipino guest, right? It's the first. And it's
Yeah, well, I'm glad to have that honor.
yeah, on us too. And also, we're gonna talk about a special. I think your baby when it comes to your work. But before that, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? But before answering that question, welcome Jess in our stream.
You made it.
Got it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little late.
Oh, it's all right. It's
Technical
called.
problem.
I think no, it's all right. I think we called it here the Filipino time. Is that right? A little bit of late on everything. When it comes to scheduling, which is just a joke. We're really punctual.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but thank you so much. And all right, let's talk about a little bit about yourselves and your backgrounds. And you can also introduce yourself on what part of the AMERIKAiju team, like your what you do there. Okay, let's start with you, Edgar.
Oh sure. So I basically I created the series. I've had this idea for quite a number of years. I think since 2009, and I finally pretty much 10 years later, started up this idea. But I created the series, and I also write, and I do the lettering in the comic as well.
All right, thank you.
Wear a lot of hats.
That's like a jack of all trades. How about you, Jess? That's a very good answer. Ano pare, ano ginagawa mo sa AMERIKAiju? Paano nangyari to?
I started. I've been on contact with Ed Edgar when one of my colors from the other project, and I've been recommended as an artist to Edgar. I work on Marian's is my colorist.
Oh my
Maria.
God, I did not understand anything, Jess. Your connection is terrible. But what I understand regarding those information, you and Edgar have been in contact for quite some time now, and one of your colorists, Edgar been looking for a colorist, jumped into this, and that be Miguel, right? Is that right?
Yeah, Miriam is the colorist that actually put us together.
Okay.
That was almost a year ago, I think, right? It's been a while. I was actually looking slowly, building the team, and I came across Miriam's work, which is excellent. And she and I started a conversation. Initially, I was going to do all of the artwork, and I learned very quickly that it's a very specialized job, and I should probably spread out the workload. And Miriam actually put us in touch. And once I saw his artwork, I fell in love with the style that he makes it look so easy, you know?
Well, that's sounds fantastic. Now you have your own Avengers for AMERI-KAIJU right here.
That's right, yeah.
All right,
we're only missing Miguel today.
Yeah, Miguel, wherever you are,
you're missed, buddy.
You're being missed. Okay, for our local and here and our Filipinos right here, can you tell us a little bit background, something that they could learn about this wonderful comics that you have, Edgar? What is this all about? What's AMERI-KAIJU?
So AMERI-KAIJU is a mashup of two different things. Kaiju, of course, is the one that everybody recognizes. It means monster in Japanese. And basically, I'll tell you a really quick story about how this all came about. I was at a convention, and my buddy and I like to sculpt live, and we're doing this show and sculpting, and out of nowhere, this group of guys comes over. Guy takes a look, and he goes, "Americans can't do kaiju." He walked away. And I was like, that's an odd thing. It got me mad, you know. So I was like, I was gonna walk over and talk to him and everything. Probably not talk, but my buddy stops me and he's like, "No, let it go," you know. And then I spent the rest of that weekend thinking about it and like just kind of seething. And on Monday I came to work with a much more clear head, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna prove that guy wrong. I'm gonna do like some project that shows that I can do monsters. So I started sketching monsters, but then I was like, I don't want to do another Godzilla, another Japanese monster that's already out there. The whole point is that his point was that Americans can't do kaiju. So I'm gonna do my own thing, right? And I pulled from what I have around me, which is the American mythical monsters. For us, chupacabras and the Momo, like Llorona. There's Jersey Devil. There's a lot of local monster lore that I could pull from, and that's really where it all started. And the comic itself is me asking the question: can a 5-year-old take on these mythical American monsters and still have time for a nap? So, he's still a kid. He's still a 5-year-old, right? And I want to show that it's still a 5-year-old at the core of the whole story. But there's some cool monsters. There's some amazing fights thanks to Jezreel's beautiful artwork. He really brings out the action and all of those things, you know? But yeah, that's the story. Hey, Roy.
You know Roy, too?
I get around in a lot of different circles.
Good morning to you, Roy. But yeah, that is pretty awesome. You made a comics out of spite.
Yeah, that's exactly where it started from. A lot of things in my life start that way. But that spite turned out to be really beautiful, kid-friendly, and really full of adventure. And also, it also takes on a lot of different monsters from your culture. It's really a cultural thing as well, because I can relate that on our Filipino side of comics that we like to. There's the same thing about that we
also take from our own mythical creatures. And I really do adore this premise of AMERI-KAIJU.
Right. Yeah. I think after we talked, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago that we had chatted. You and I, we were talking about a couple different things, and you brought up Trece, and I was just starting to watch the series, and now after watching it and experiencing it, it's funny and scary how similar the two are, right? Because Trece in that same sense, I mean, they're going in a different route, but you're still using the local lore to feed all of these stories, and I thought that was amazing, and I think they did a wonderful job.
Yeah, I think that they have their similarities, but very unique at the same time. But I really do adore those comparisons.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if I'm even in the same conversation as their work, I mean that's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah, definitely, you're going on the right direction regarding that one.
Right.
What else can we say about this?
How about the indie scene in where are you? California?
Yeah, I'm in California. Yeah.
How is the indie scene in California?
How do people take this kind of a beautiful project? How do they support it? How's the scene exactly?
Yeah. So I mean, it's very different right now because of COVID, but normally, normally stories are it takes a lot of work on the creative side, a lot of marketing, but I think once we get out there a little bit more, not only in person, because I think I will have to do some in-person events, but even podcasts like yours, allowing me to come on and talk about the project in more detail and really give answer more of those questions that may be out there. I think that's really the best way to get word out there and to really break in a little bit more, because it is a little bit tough. I'm in the best part of the world, I think, for something like this, because I'm very close to movie studios and TV studios. I have a lot of artists around me, a lot of comic book companies are based in LA as well. So I have a lot of things at my fingertips that I can take advantage of, and also some of the biggest comic book shops are out here as well. So I'm going to try my best to take advantage of that position that I'm in.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, but to answer succinctly, it's very tough. It's a tough place to be in, but it's fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
also here in the Philippines, it's been tough, especially during the pandemic. But it's a great also time to do some side projects like comics, because we have uh, more time for our passion than just going to work.
Right. Yeah, and I think thanks to very much thanks to Jezreel, all of this stuff has really come to life in the last couple of months.
Yeah, in order. Yes, go ahead, Mick. What's your question?
Yeah, I think I just want to follow up the question regarding the indie scene there in California. How's the audience there? How's the people there who likes indie? How are they supporting the indie scene there?
Well, actually, yeah, it's awesome to see the support, right? Because even like I just did the Kickstarter, and there was that very much local support, which helps me in a lot of ways, right? Because like you're saying, it's local support, but for purposes of a Kickstarter, it's awesome because I don't have to ship anything overseas. I don't, different states. It's very, it's very easy that way. But the crowd here, I think, has very much, even though they're open to new things, I would say that it takes a lot to really convince and get them away from something that they're currently enjoying and reading. But I found that for instance, for me, it all stemmed from the name AMERI-KAIJU, and then everything else just kind of was built into it. And luckily enough for me, it's a good enough name that when people hear it, they automatically know that it's monster related and that it's American monsters related. And if they're into monsters, they're already hooked, right? They're already interested. So in that sense, I have it a little bit easy, but it's still a very tough, very very difficult to get into the indie comic scene here.
Yeah. Hmm. Go ahead, RD.
No.
I think just
I
trying to
just
say something.
got distracted with the sound. Do you have a follow up on that? Well, that's and on top of that, when on top of the with the click on the name, they'll be delved into more things when they try to read this comics. There's a lot more, not just the title itself. That's a very good.
Right.
Have you already reached your goal in the Kickstarter?
What was that?
Have you already reached your goal in the Kickstarter?
Yeah, so we finished up the Kickstarter May 6th, and it was thank God it was successful. We
Yeah,
I think it
congrats.
was like 103%. So yeah, thank you so much. It was definitely a nail biter at the very end, because we didn't make our goal till about 1 in the morning the day of. So it was very very tight.
It's like buzzer beater.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so so the goal is already reached, but do you have like, I think in Kickstarter it's continuous funding? Is it continuous funding and you just have to stretch the reward?
Yeah,
Can you tell
unfortunately
me more
no.
about that?
Yeah, I wish I could continue earning more dollars that way, but no. So once it ends, you only have a certain time period. I set it up for 30 days. Once that 30 days is up, it stops everything. But if people are interested in the comic book, they could go on our website. They can get there through our social media or directly in the website. It's AMERIKAIJUcomic.com. All of our social media is AMERIKAIJU Comic, and we have issue 1 on sale now. That's available, and I believe the digital version is only $2.99, which is awesome. And we have issue 2 dropping July 21st, and then issue 3 is August 11th. So it's all very, very, very tight.
Those are very tight deadlines and releases, but
Yeah.
more for the fans to read.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's exactly the point. I could have done one comic very slowly with Jazz and Miguel, over the course of 2 or 3 months, and release that release one every 3 months. But I feel like it's not enough for fans. With for instance, Netflix, right? We've gotten so used to getting everything up front, or at least a giant bundle of episodes, and binge watching those and going, give me more, right? And that's basically what I want with this comic book, is for people to read these first 3 and to say, give me more, right? I want more of this story. So yeah, that's why that's why the Kickstarter really helped. The Kickstarter was not to see if it would live or not. It was basically just to make it faster.
All right, cool. Yeah. In our times nowadays, we really sure like to eat that much content as we want, as a digital consumer like that. Yeah, I think this is a really good season 1 of AMERI-KAIJU. If people gonna get it that fast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah. I do actually want to ask just some questions. But yeah, I guess he's having problems with his connection.
let's try that question. Let's try that.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah. I guess because yeah, Edgar mentioned about the the deadlines and everything with the tight schedules. I just want to ask him if how does it fare to him doing some stuff with Edgar, and how does he handle that deadline and everything.
those deadlines.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's see if we can get just to answer that.
That's a very good question, actually.
Well, I can tell you, I am a dream to work with.
I can say that as well, because even though you make time to reply, definitely, and handle the concerns immediately once you have time.
Yeah, I definitely try my best to, because I've in my career I've been a designer for almost decades, and I know what it's like to not get an answer right away, and to be sitting there, wanting to finish. As an artist, you sometimes you feel like you're never going to finish, but you want to have feedback, and you want to be able to move on to the next client. And it's difficult if oh, thank you, Mel. It's very difficult if the person in charge is not answering and not being communicative.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it really, it's a really good thing that you have that that designer part of it, because you've been in the industry for quite a long time already. Yeah, I think the people that you're working with really is really happy that you have that concern regarding those situations. Hey, we do have a question from Bong Radilla, our friend from the States as well.
Oh, nice. Well, nice to somewhat meet you, Bon. So it's my first comic book Kickstarter. I've done other Kickstarters for other projects that I've had going, but first Kickstarter for comics. And thank God it went well.
It's a good thing it really went well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed. I think I noticed some. There's a lot of characters here, since the concept is basically more of like a monster thing. Do you have any favorite characters there?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think I do like the skull guy there.
Yeah. So the guy you see there in the center. Actually, if I can share my screen, I can.
You can probably share it with me so I can preview it.
Or Edgar can really actually share his screen. He could just on the middle, bottom part, you could share.
Oh,
there we go. And let me see if.
Oh, that's a really clean desktop. I admire how clean it is.
Yeah, so this is a piece by a really good friend of mine, also a good friend of mine from the Philippines. My buddy Ryan. This is Ryan Tumaliwan. Ryan and I went to college here in California. Very, very interesting guy. Actually, I have his vinyl here at the bottom. Take a look at this thing.
oh, wow.
Right? I mean, what else can you say about his work?
It's very cool.
What I can say is I hate it. I hate it how much I love it.
Right?
I hate that I love
super talented. And to answer your question, yeah, I mean, this is the main character. His name is Hiro. I wanted to make it easy for the readers. His name is Hiro, and he is the alter ego to our 5-year-old Hiro. Let's see if I can put my. I can show you a couple more of the covers. You guys were looking at the Bon Bernardo piece. So Bon is also another Filipino artist. Bon is amazing. I don't know if you guys are already familiar with his work, but he does all of these portraits, for other people as commissions, and he draws people as a Power Ranger or as their favorite character in any manga. And he really, if you see his work, he really pays a lot of attention and nails the likeness. So if you look at the little boy here, that's our main character as a boy, and then when he turns into Hiro, and basically that's my son. What you see there is my little guy, and that's why I went to Bon, because he does have that talent to really nail the likeness down. And let's see, I have some of. I mean, I think my this is what I would send Jezreel. My quick sketches to like just study, very early on sketches to like to get a feel for what the characters should be. I also sent this to Miguel, and I think he may have laughed at me. I'm not good with color, but these guys took these very dirty sketches and turned them into the magic that you see in the comic book. As far as like favorite character, I tend to like the monsters better. Thank you, David. Or yeah, Kazuki. I tend to like monsters better. That's where my interest is more in the monsters than anything else. So I do a lot of the design work for these guys, and this is another one like Chupacabras. I sent over to him. The Goat Man.
Oh, it's the first time I see this. It's really great.
Yeah. These guys are the again, the sketches that I send over to Jez, and then he draws them in his style and applies everything into the comic to make it all look the same.
Yeah. I really like this.
Thank you.
What were the inspirations for these characters? Are there any inspirations or like references?
Yeah, so it's a lot of reference, a lot of different things. So like Snallygaster is the one that's on the screen right now. There are images of this monster that are a little bit old, where it's basically they describe the monster, and it's more to describe for like newspapers and stuff. But this guy they described as having a metal beak. Tentacles coming out of that beak, wings and claws.
There you go.
So the inspiration was basically taking that description and saying, well, how can I make it something that fits in the world that I'm building? I want to make it really cool and kind of give it the feel like almost my style of Power Ranger monsters, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
If I were making these things, how would I design them? And adding a little bit of different personality to each one.
It has a great hoof, huh?
When I first saw these monsters design, the new two that I saw, I think they can really be fighting the Power Rangers. Exactly. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I spent a little over 5 years working for Power Rangers, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about storytelling, and that's really what pushed me to finally make this comic book real. But I mean, for the most part, I'm looking at it as, how would I create a monster that lives in that same genre of monsters, right?
Yeah, and it really takes really good form with that experience of yours. Yeah.
And I think, I mean, they have some differences in Power Rangers and in your story. They have sort of had more different
Uniqueness.
vibes. Yeah, the uniqueness.
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think a lot of it has to do with the stuff that we're adding to them. Um,
yeah.
you know, I'll see if I can find Busco, which is the turtle guy that we were talking about. For him, I really went deep into the story of how and how they what makes them famous and all of that. But adding some touches that are almost Easter eggs. If you look at the monsters that are on right now, I added a few things like the fishing gear on the frog guy. He has a very special piece of jewelry that hangs from his side that will be part of the story. The other guy on the far left in the gray is supposed to be a water creature, right? And I was like, I really like this character, but how do I put him out, for him to fight and not have to put our hero inside of a lake? It would feel weird, right? So I figured, yeah, why not? Let's put him in a wheelchair. So that guy's in a wheelchair, right? And he wheels around and he fights that way. But there's a lot of thought that goes into each one of these monsters.
Yeah, we have some questions for Mel from Mel. Well, Mel is one of our co-hosts here. Unfortunately, he was not able to come join with us because he have some power problems.
Our problem as well.
Yeah, but his question is: are you familiar with the older Sentai series like Bioman or Maskman?
I wish I were more familiar because I keep hearing a lot of good things about those series. I've seen a few images in the past, but I haven't really quite jumped into the shows yet.
Yeah, but I think it hasn't been distributed that well there, right?
Not as much, but there's a big otaku fandom that brings a lot of that stuff over.
All right,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It has a very large fan base there. Because I think at some point I'm actually one of those fans that really admire Super Sentai series. So yeah, I can really say they have a lot of really good fans. And
this year,
Power Rangers and Super Sentai in general, they most of them
because
both
here in the
like.
Philippines, we started with the original Sentais, the Japanese ones. Then they show. Then when we grow up, they show the Power Rangers, and we also grow up with the Ultraman with the real big monsters and the Godzillas like that. So we have this thinking that it's cool to have those monsters and big giant robots fighting. So I think we Filipinos have are very connected with this AMERI-KAIJU because yeah, like that.
Because of the monsters, because of our bringing, because of the fighting huge robots that we have all together.
Yeah,
That's the mix of our love for these monsters right here.
And then I think I also
Go
go ahead. Yeah, I just want to say our fascination with these characters itself. I think that's what Filipinos really get interested to because of this the type of monsters, what they look like. Some
Right.
of us some of us even wanting to be like that monster because they look so cool and everything.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That I think again, growing up for me, the lure of those shows has always been the monsters. It's always been that, right? It was a little too late for me for Power Rangers because that was mid '90s already. I was already interested in other things, and I would catch it every once in a while for 2 or 3 minutes. I would think it was the cheesiest thing, and I would just, I'm over here, right? But I would go, oh, wait a minute, what's that? That monster looks kind of cool. I didn't expect that from this, or wow, that robot is really cool. And you see the Megazords and the Zords and all of that stuff flying around. The design and the thought process that goes into those, it's amazing to me, and I love looking at those and exploring and finding new things every time that I see them.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Even though that you said that it's too late for you, it catches your attention still.
Right. Right.
All right. So as we talked earlier, you have 1, 2, and the third issue coming very soon. But do you have any other future plans? Future plans for this that people could wait for?
Yeah, for sure. So right now we're working on issues 1, 2. Actually, we released issue 1 early in April. Issue 2 is due in July, and issue 3 is coming up in August. After that, I'm marching right along. Once we're done with 3, most likely Jezreel is going to jump on 5 and move on. I signed on another artist to give Jezreel a little bit of a break, because as you were mentioning, it is a very tough schedule. And I actually hired two different artists because we're not only working on 1, 2, and 3 right now. I'm also working on 0, which is going to be a precursor and show you a little bit of the world, how big the world actually is for these characters.
Wow, that is something amazing to look forward to. Like the whole world building thing. That's really fantastic.
Yeah. So what that one is going to focus on, if you see the, let me go back to those covers. If you look here, so Hiro is in the middle, the skull guy, and to his right and to his left, you have these 2 brothers, and they are his mentors. The guy in blue, his name is Van, and he is very meticulous. He wants to plan everything and make sure that every little piece on the board is perfect, and he has an exit strategy. Whereas his brother in the red, his name is Sid. He's like, just give me a hammer, let's do it, right? And he's walking past you as he's doing it, and he's just like, let's go. They're 2 very different personalities, and they're both going to be in Hiro's ear as he's fighting, as he's talking, as he's doing everything. They're in his ear, like, no, do it this way, do it that way, don't do that.
Like a backseat driver.
Yeah, exactly. And the issue 0 is gonna show you how they became mentors. Why are they ghosts, right? Why are they in this position? And I'm gonna explore a little bit of that in issue 0 to give a little more clarity for those folks, because I did get a lot of questions about that, and even though it will be answered, continuing to say, oh, it's going to be answered is not, it's not that easy.
People want to see it.
Right.
Yeah, it's actually hoping to see if there are any story behind the creature they are standing on, because I find it really cute for me.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be part of a scene that's in issue 2.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, little hints.
Those hints and a little bit of details.
To add another question, are there any plans for it to be, well, aside from the Kickstarter? Because I think I guess there's some local Filipino people who wants to see it. Are there any chances that we can see it there?
Distributed
Locally?
in the
Aside from
international.
aside from the Kickstarter.
Yeah, so on what I'm doing is I'm also releasing issues 1, 2, and 3 after they're released for the Kickstarter people. They will be released digitally and in print on the website. And then moving forward, I think we've had other plans, but I'm going to look into a partnership with somebody I've been discussing things with over in the Philippines, specifically Philippines, because we have a lot of Filipino fans apparently. and basically I'm looking to see if we can do a short print run specifically for the Filipino crowd, because it's very, very expensive for me to ship. I think it's like
Definitely.
$40 or $50 it cost me for a poster once. Yeah, that was maybe a month ago. Yeah, and that hurt because I did not make $50 on a poster. So yeah,
I think those are a little bit of bumps in regard to distribution, but thank God for the digital era, so they could definitely
I also
have it.
noticed. I also noticed that you have some vinyl toys on your Kickstarter.
yes,
Did you do the sculpt for that? Because you also mentioned earlier that you were sculpting.
yeah. So I do a lot of sculpting. I put up Artie's cover there in the meantime, but yeah, you guys were talking about this guy here.
Yeah.
See if I can. I can't share this guy, but anyway.
Wait, let me.
Whoa, wait a minute. You don't have to worry about it. I have him here.
There.
There you go.
So it's a little difficult to see because he's in white. This is our maquette for the website that I'm putting together. But this guy, he is our bad guy. His name is Tagarik, and this is what he turns into when he takes over what we're calling a mega monster right now. Is basically you have a group of monsters that turn into this bigger monster, and when he joins them, this is what he turns into. He makes this, very, very big, very mean monster, and this is what you get. So yes, to answer your question, I do a lot of vinyl figures. That's something that I've been into in the past. Here's the white one. He actually comes in several different colors. White's probably not the best one to use.
Yeah.
This one's part of the Kickstarter. It's probably easier for you to see, right?
Yeah. Like a rainbow colored variant.
Yes, we have this guy. This is painted by my nephew, who's the lead decorator for my little operation. And yeah, I mean,
Wow.
he did such a wonderful job with these.
It looks so yummy but terrifying at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but I've done a lot of different little vinyl figures. I did this one for a local business that I support. I also made this for Mr. Stan Lee.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
Is
I don't know
that
if you can see
signed?
that clearly. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of different things out here. I started with this guy. This is well, actually here.
Not the best thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
But, once you decorate him, he looks like this. But he starts off
That's
blank.
the blank.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And then you could decorate them however you like. And this is actually what I was working on when we had that comment about AMERI-KAIJU. I was sculpting on top of this guy, customizing him, and that's when that group of guys came over and made their comment that started this whole thing. So
You should
Thank you
that
for
guy.
those guys. Yeah. Should bring him some copies. Here it is. You.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. So we got another question here. Mel Kasikit says, what are your advice to comic creators that plan to use Kickstarter to fund their comics?
I could go on for like an hour on this, but
Let the brief. About it.
I learned a lot. I've done other Kickstarters to the point that I was making earlier. I've done other Kickstarters, but comic was a very, very different in a lot of ways, because for me it came down to like what artwork do you put at the very top, what do you put at the bottom. I thought, let's put all the cool stuff up at the top because, you know, people are going to click and look at that and decide right away if they're going to stay or not. So I put all of my cool stuff at the top, and then all of the boring stuff towards the bottom. And I had videos at the bottom because I figured, well, you know, they're going to scroll down and look at it. And for the first 10 days or so, I left it like that. And I got maybe $400. And I was thinking, man, I'm such a failure. Like, this is going down the tubes. A friend of mine connected me to a marketing team that's local, and they gave me some advice. They hopped on the line with me and said, okay, you're going to want to move the videos to the top. You're going to want to do this. You're going to want to do that. Put these things in this order. Really helped me clean up the readability of the page because you're scrolling up and down. And I'll send you a link. It's Inked Marketing. Inked.marketing is their website. But basically they came on and helped me figure all of that out. Once it was streamlined, at that point we basically started moving. So we had really about 17 or 18 days really of having a real structured Kickstarter page. Because before that it was really a hot mess. You know, I tried my hardest to put things out there, but I had a total of I think maybe 6 different things that you could pledge for. And when they came in, they were like, no, you want 30 or 40, give them more options and more options. And I thought, well, people are going to get confused. It's going to be too much, right? You have too many options, you're not going to decide. And, you know, I just said, you know what? You guys are the experts at this. Let's just do it, see what happens. And it just came out that, you know, people wanted everything a la carte, and, you know, they want this cover and that cover, but they don't want this cover. And, you know, they just wanted to move everything around. So it really helped to have a second pair of eyes on the campaign, especially professionals that do this for a living. It made a huge difference for me. But I would say if you know, other things would be, I started without any advertising, without any marketing. I didn't go on any podcasts. I was just like, it's gonna be cool, right? You know, people are gonna see it and they'll fall in love with it. And nobody knew about it, you know, for the first 10, 15 days, it was just out there. So I would say the 2 things: make sure that you have a second pair of eyes on the campaign, have a collaborator, and 2, even more important than that, is do your groundwork. Do shows like you know, the show that I'm on. Do, you know, more local shows to you. I mean, anywhere that you can get your property out to would be ideal, because you want to be able to have people know that your stuff even exists, and know people are not going to, you know, just kind of stumble across it. You know, even when people stumble across your stuff, they still have to be convinced with some really cool stuff. You know.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good advice on that, so that people could be able to support your stuff. And also, advertising is really, really, really important. It's not just, as I learned, it's not just getting out there. You just let them know what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of being out in the public eye, and you know, there are a lot of us that are creators that want to create and just sit in our room and keep creating. We don't want to, you know, be out in the public and talking, but it helps. If you want to gain an audience, you have to give them something to follow, right? And not just cool drawings, because a lot of people can make cool drawings.
That is right.
Get out there and tell them what your cool drawings are about.
There you go. A story behind it, definitely. So there's something more rather than very eye like an eye candy for the viewers to see. Yes, definitely. So that they could already they know that it's cool, but they could see that what's you're passionate about it. That's really
Right,
something.
right.
There
And
you
really
go.
to tell more stories that people wouldn't normally hear about, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I know we've talked about a lot of different things in this first 50 minutes, but you know, reading the comic book, you wouldn't know, you know, that Jez was involved to the degree that he was, or how he and I met, you know, and those are the things that people want to know,
Mhm.
you know, because you know, as an aspiring comic interiors artist, you want to know, hey, how do I get hooked up with a company? How do I get hooked up with a writer or with a project, right? And you're not going to know that unless you see these shows and ask those questions to those creators, right?
That is right. Opportunity is you really have to find it yourself or watch these kinds of shows. But thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for this awesome episode that we have. So before we go, um, let's just have a reminder for where can they get this AMERI-KAIJU and what are your socials that they can follow.
Yeah, so the website is amerikaijucomic.com, and social media is all at AMERIKAIJU Comic. Very easy.
Mm-hmm. And they can actually do they can purchase the digital copies now of one. Is that correct?
Yes, and I'm actually going to be putting up pre-order buttons for issues 2 and 3 very soon.
Oh, there you go. So follow it up, follow us, and I think this wraps our wonderful morning and evening. Thank you so much. And
All right, guys, it was a pleasure talking to you all.
yes, this is a fun episode, and please do stay tuned for the upcoming issues of AMERI-KAIJU and its wonderful monsters and people. And have a good morning, enjoy your Sunday, and have a good weekend.
Comics
Hey,
people.
4th of
Bye.
July, Comics, 4th of
Ay.
July tomorrow.
Fourth of July,
Oh,
oh.
yeah. A lot of
Happy
fireworks.
Independence.
Fires, let's celebrate the success of AMERI-KAIJU. Bye, comics people.